It's Christine Wilson and Safira Galoob, and you'll thank us later. Tune in every week and hang out with us because we're a lot of fun.
And no topics off the record, we decided. We are open to talking about everything together with a bit of a sense of humor, a lot of self-forgiveness, a lot of grace, and always being wiser on the other end. Bring it on, girls and boys.
You know what? You'll thank me later that I'm telling you about this. You'll thank me. They're going to hate us, Safira. It's going to be nuts. Good morning from my seashell beach bedroom. What do you guys think about? You probably can't tell, but these are seashell wallpaper. I'm very beachy right now.
Love it.
It's beautiful. Isn't that cute? My mom got it done. I'm like, Courtney's at the beach. Coty lives permanently at the beach. I'm at the beach. You guys, we're holding on to the last dying breath of this summer.
I am. Summer's not even close to being over. It's like end of September.
No, well,
summer's over.
When you don't have to travel to like get to beachy towns, you can stretch it out as long as possible. You're very lucky.
It's true.
Yeah. So Courtney, her parents just got a house on the Cape. So she and I both have every reason to escape up here every summer and have a place to stay. So very lucky, Courtney. How's the house coming along?
Yeah, it's great. We saw it the other day. They just finished painting it. They did all of the trim. They did like new finishing on the floors. So it's amazing what a little TLC can do to what was already a beautiful house, but now it's really like come to life and feels like our own. So I'm excited to like decorate our room and things like that. So yeah, not moving ready quite yet, but next summer for sure.
That's so exciting. I love it. Coty, I don't know how you don't just keep yourself from like running to the beach every afternoon. I know you have the pool. I get it. But to me, the beach and the pool, it's still, the beach is the elevated experience for me.
Totally. But I think because I grew up, like we moved to this house when I was 1 and I've always had a pool. So it's just been like, I literally can walk 2 steps outside and be in the pool and not have to deal with the crowd on the beach or like annoying people.
And the parking and the sand.
So this is heaven.
I love it. And it looks like a gorgeous pool.
You'll see it.
So nice.
My dad's chomping at the bit for you to come over.
I love it. I love it. I'm ready. I'm ready for a pool visit. Well, we are missing Safira today. She is in Oklahoma dealing with some family stuff. And so we are going to chat today a little bit, which I know we'll have to revisit this with Safira because I know her stories will be absolutely hilarious. But we are talking today about dating and dating in my old lady era, what it was like many years ago versus now. And I have to say, I have absolutely no jealousy over your dating experiences because it looks so stressful to me. Although I am really good at taking over my friends' dating apps, my friends that have gotten divorced, because it's like a game to me. But that's not my life. It's not my life.
Yeah, you have no stake in the game. It's your friend's life. You're just swiping for fun.
And laughing hysterically. I mean, I am shocked what people think is a good idea to lead with on a dating app.
Also, like what pictures they think are good. Like who looked over this and said, good, that's a good profile post.
Yes, please show off that giant bass. That fish is all that women want to see.
Yes. That's a running joke online. Like, look at that fish. I want to marry him.
I mean, is it maybe these men are going back to like, I'm a provider. She won't starve. She'll have fish if she's with me. Is that what they're thinking?
It's even that elevated of a thought. I think it's like, these are the only pictures I have. My guy friends think these are cool. I'm going to use these.
It's pretty mind-boggling. The other ones where the girl is like cut out of the picture.
Yep.
And I'm like, really? You couldn't take one picture where there wasn't another woman in the picture?
Yep. Or they only have pictures
Pretty
with
unbelievable.
Wow.
Oh, it's terrible. Well, I want to get into all the nuances of dating in this century, actually in this millennia, because I dated in the 1900s, guys.
That's why I have a million.
I was married in 2004.
Okay.
Okay. Ask away.
Okay.
Go for it.
I'd want to know first, like, how you would meet people when you were dating. Like, I'm sure there were a lot of more like natural, organic ways through friends, whatever. But we're like the, what are they called? Like the want ads or something, like personal ads in a paper. My parents used to talk about those.
My husband did one.
There you
He
go.
did it. He literally, and I mean, I will say that is kind of a loser thing to have done. I'll be honest. I
thought it
have
was more
teased him
normal.
endlessly about it. But who wants to go on a date with someone that you have no visual idea of anything about them? You just have a little written blurb that they put in a newspaper.
But I think
And
it's
the
like
one he went on was so bad. It was so bad.
you only got one?
He did it once. He did it once,
Yeah.
and it was so bad he never did it again.
That's a bad ROI for that ad.
Yeah, right. Well, no, he didn't put the ad out. He answered one.
Oh, okay. But it's personality based. Like people will do anything for a date. My mom once had a friend through work. She had a boyfriend. She was on vacation. A bottle with a message rolled onto the beach. She
Oh
opened
my
it.
God.
Yeah, a guy wrote like, "My name is blah blah blah. I live here. If you're finding this, it must be a sign. Like call me." She called this guy and she would talk to him for like years and years and years. She had a boyfriend and then she met
Uh,
him. And I
did
don't
they end up
work out.
together?
I don't think it worked out, but it's just so crazy. Like the things people will do that they think like this is a sign. Like someone's like
This is a sign.
there and they're like, oh, this ad, it's a sign. Like I guess people's psyche either nuts.
Well, he did say the woman was nuts. And he said the whole date, he was just trying to find an easy exit, quickly.
Brutal. That's brutal.
Now, most of his, so Oj is almost 10 years older than I am. So for context, I'll be 48 next week. He's 57. He went to Georgetown. Most of his friends were Catholic. Most of his friends met each other in college and got married shortly after college. So that's how most of his friends met people. So he was a bit of the outlier that 10 years after college, he was still single. So I think he was willing to try things because he was like, wow, these people already have kids. And here I am, working around the clock. I don't have a lot of free time. It's not like I can just go hang out in a bar and meet somebody.
Right.
That was my method. And I had two main methods of dating: hang out in a bar and meet somebody, or get set up by a friend. So someone knew someone. And that even meant sometimes you took someone's rejects. Like someone went on a date with someone who was like, not for me, but maybe for you.
Right. Totally.
Yeah.
Things haven't changed that much. Like I'm not on any dating apps, so I basically have the same methods you do because without them, it's like I don't know how people will meet people because it's harder to like organically meet people, especially at a bar. At least I'm finding, Courtney, I'm sure you can speak to it, but the culture is like you go to a bar with your friends and then they stay with their friends and they don't venture out to. That's why I feel like sometimes I do better when I go out like meeting older guys because they can socialize and know they don't have to stick with their three friends all night. They can talk to other people. But people around
Right.
my age like don't do that. At least that's what I'm finding. It's wild.
So when I went out into the bars, our entire goal was like, I think we came in as a group of women and we were like, ready, set, break. I mean,
Right.
and it was like we huddled, we got our drinks, and we were off. And it was like, and also I'm obviously not afraid to talk to people. So I would go up and just, if I saw cute guys, I would go talk to them. I did find the best bar nights were when it was two women.
Mm-hmm.
You were safe, you had a partner, but you weren't a big intimidating group. And people would come up to us, or we would have an easy time going up to people.
Totally.
So my friend Jen and I, we logged a lot of hours. I was her wing woman. She was my wing woman. Let me tell you, she and I, we did the bars, we did it all. We dated. And Jen is divorced now, and she is my favorite to run her dating apps for.
Fun. Yeah, and duo
She
work
hates it though.
same. Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Life.
She's done a lot of dating through the dating apps, but she'll say, I'm done. I can't take it. I need a break. This is terrible.
A lot of my friends do the same thing. Like I'll say to my friend, we went to lunch the other day and I was like, oh, like let me scroll in your app because I don't have them. Like, let me look. And she was like, I deleted it like last night. And I was like, well, download it back. I want to play.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
So
like-
why aren't you on the dating apps?
I have found that I don't love like people either sometimes recognize me from TikTok and then just that's the only thing they want to talk to me about. Or once we start talking and they ask what I do, like if you just Google my name, like my first name is not common. So you don't even really have to put in my last name. You could probably put like Coty social media and all my stuff pops up. And I feel like they get to know me before I even get a chance to talk to them. And it just feels like
Right.
very productive for them, but not for me. So I'm not a fan of that. So, and also it's just, I need a break from that type of dating. Like it's clearly not worked for me in the past. And I'm kind of fatigued of dating app culture. It's like I think the men have too many options, and especially on certain apps like Bumble, where it's like, oh, the women have the power, they can message first. It's actually become the opposite. It's just men getting a
Hmm.
ton of options from women and deciding, who do I want to talk to?
Oh,
We really need to give them that? I don't think so. Like they should be pursuing us.
no.
Right.
Right. So which of the dating apps have you tried?
Hinge and Bumble. And when I was in college and Tinder first came out, everyone downloaded it to like see from your high school who was on it. But after that, I got sick 'cause it was so scary. It's such a gross app. But Bumble and Hinge were my main ones. I met my last boyfriend on Bumble.
On Bumble. And we know he's an asshole.
Correct.
Am I allowed to say that out loud?
Sure,
Do I have
I
to
didn't
edit that
say it.
out?
I just agreed.
Okay.
It's okay. I don't care.
All right. Just want to make
Say
sure
anything.
yeah. So which of the dating apps that you did try? So you thought Bumble and Hinge both were decent
Yeah, and I think Hinge is like
at
the
the time.
serious one. Like people are actually looking for relations on that. That at least is the vibe I've gotten. But I think
Okay.
you're so desperate at this point to find anything, they'll take it from whatever app they can find it.
They can find it.
Yeah.
So I'll take you back in time to 2001. I had a job at this computer tech company, and there were a bunch of us women in the marketing department. We all sat in cubes. And this woman, I'll give a big shout out to Lisa. Lisa said, I just heard about this new website. It wasn't match.com, guys. It was matchmaker.com. It looked like it was all red and yellow. It was like a child at preschool Crayola colored this website. It was so bad. It was like the first dating website. She went on it. She made me put a profile on it. And she went out and went on a date. And she is still married to that guy. One date,
Wow.
done. I see her. I don't know her like personally anymore, but I see her on social media. We still follow each other. Still married. They have 2 kids. I went on 2 dates from matchmaker.com. They were the worst. One of them I showed up, it was Valentine's Day, and the kid looked like he was 17 years old. I'm like, what picture had you put on? And don't forget, the internet was not as high res as it is now.
Right, right.
I went on the 2 and I was like, that's it. I'm done. I'm glad I could be part of this forced experiment with Lisa, but Lisa definitely hit the jackpot. And so that's the extent of my online dating experience was
Yeah,
those
I
2
was gonna
dates.
ask you like how prevalent like dating sites were. You know what's funny? I went on a date with someone recently and they said they were on the apps and stuff. And then they were like, well, I'm also on Match. And I said, Match.com. And he was like, yeah. And he was 33. I was like, I didn't. He was like, people are on it. Like, don't make fun. Like, people are on it. Serious people are on it. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't know. I didn't know that that was still like a prevalent way to meet people. But apparently people are using it.
Well, and Match, I think, came out not long after that fun of matchmaker.com. And it I mean, I always think of it as like the original monster.com, which guys was how you found jobs back in the day, just so you
Right.
know, before Indeed.
I knew that. I knew that. I've heard
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Match seemed to be sort of the prevalent way for a long time. I don't know. Yeah. I keep hearing about things like, what is it? Bagel meets coffee.
Yeah.
And
And there's Locks Club or something. That's
yes.
for predominantly Jewish people wanting to find each other, I think.
Yeah.
Plenty
Yeah.
of Issues one.
Yes.
There's like a bunch.
There are a bunch.
I'm not on them.
Courtney, I know you met Chris in college. Did you ever have to get on the dating apps or did you skip it?
Yeah, fortunately I skipped it because I was a freshman in college when we met, and that was 2013. So that was like, of course we had Facebook and Instagram, but it's not like people were using those for anything outside of just like posting pictures and stuff. And so we definitely didn't have the dating apps. So we just met through like mutual friends. So I skipped all that, which I think is a blessing. So I wouldn't know the first, like, we always joke, like, if I was thrown out in the dating world now, like, we wouldn't know what to do. Would be a total fish
Yeah,
out
I
of
wouldn't.
water. So, but I've seen like a couple of our friends have used them, and it worked for them. And then some others have just been through like more mutual friends, like through our college group. So, but no, yeah, not personally.
Oh, that's nice. I've been in
Yeah.
churches for a long time, Courtney.
Sorry. Yeah, out in the trenches. Yeah.
I think one of the things that I know it didn't take off, but I think it was like Facebook that was trying to do it, where it was like
Believe
helping
that.
connect you to friends of friends.
And
Like
there's now
just,
Facebook dating, which I just heard.
yeah.
I think it's a scary place. It's giving like Facebook Marketplace, but dating. So I don't think that would be productive for me.
But I think the concept behind the idea of adding technology to like, okay, so I met Oj through his friends who I happen to work with, right? So that whole let's set friends up with friends, the blind date kind of thing. I love the idea of technology helping make that connection. Cause like, what if I know the absolute perfect person for you, Cody, but it just didn't dawn on me. I just don't
Right.
think of it. Like, if there was a way for you to sort of peruse my friends and be like, oh my God, Christine, you've been sitting on this guy over here, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, great idea.
Right.
I could set
And
you
if you are, send him my way if you are.
up. All the men in my life are like 50 plus. So I know
Perfect.
I'm
Right. Perfect.
and divorced. If they're free, if
Oh,
they're single, they're divorced. So we've already got, you'd have
divorce is
teenagers.
good. You know what I wanted to ask you?
Um,
'Cause I brought this up on a date somewhat recently, and they had no idea what I was talking about. But maybe it's more of a woman thing. Was it big when you were dating, like the 3 date rule? Like if you really like them, but you wait to be intimate with someone till at least the third date? Like that was a thing, right? I didn't make that up.
I did that with my husband. I
Yep.
kissed him on the first date, goodnight. I kissed him longer on the second date.
That's
And
beautiful.
then there was a long gap in time because he was in New York working on a case and I was in DC. So the third date, I was up in New York and I'm visiting, and he was like, I can go to dinner, but I have to work all weekend. And I, oops, accidentally spent the night. But I I was like, it's a third date. I really like
Yeah.
him. And it's been like 6 months at this point because we have this whole big gap in time and we've been talking the whole time. So I was like, I need to make sure all of this works, like
No, you're
not just a quick kiss. So I probably skipped like steps 3 and 4, maybe a little bit, but it was like,
right.
and I mean, we were living together like 2 months
Right.
later. So
I think I was on a second date and they said something about like someone else they dated that they had waited a long time to try that part of the relationship, whatever. And I was like, oh, well, like the 3 day rule, whatever. And he was like, what the hell is that? And I was like you wait until like the third date, like if you like them, if you don't, do whatever you want. But, or I guess if you do like them, people nowadays do whatever they want anyway. That's
right.
part of it. But he had no idea what I was talking about. And he was like, well, this is our second date. So what should we do for our third? And I was like, disgusting, gross. Like, I'm out. Just like
He
that.
was like, okay, let's schedule the sex now.
Yep. And I was like, and I'm done. Just like that. Nice.
I mean, I've definitely broken the rule, but I
Of
have
course.
found that the pacing, well, one, I find when you get intimate too quickly, a lot of times it's either because you're drinking a lot or there's that initial buzzy attraction, but you don't really know much below that. And so you didn't give it a chance to really find out, oh my God, did he actually vote for Trump? Because maybe I'm hot for him, but we're never going to be a
Not
match.
compatible. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I need to have some conversations first to make sure we're actually compatible. So I always felt like the 3 date rule, even though it wasn't like a strict, like, it wasn't based on like my perfect purity or anything, but it
Right.
was a good chance to really get to know somebody and to see if when I came back, did I feel the same
Right.
before I got confused by he's really hot and we had good sex. So maybe we should be together for the wrong reasons.
But I think I'm like old fashioned in even saying that because like the trope on social media now is like women do whatever you want, whenever you want. And like I totally get that, do whatever you want. But I don't know, there's something about like if you meet that night, like you can't have that strong of a connection. I mean, some people do. Some people have sex the first night and then they get married one day eventually, I'm sure. But I don't know, it just seems like too fast. Like, and that's such an intimate thing to do with a stranger.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have found that buzzy, exciting, oh my God, we're just instantly attracted to each other can be really exciting. As long as
Yeah.
you know that the outcome of that may not be great in the long run, because
Right.
I think like I said, I think you're missing out on really knowing who the person is. And I think I mean, let's just think, I mean, Oj and I have been talking to each other for over 20 years and I still learn things about him. So I definitely am not going to know too much on the first night, that I already am all settled on who the person is.
Right. All I'll know is I've had a few drinks and you look good. Like that's not
And you look good. And
shit,
that's fine
right?
too.
Right.
Yeah, that serves its own purpose. God, that's a long time ago in my life. I missed that a little bit. There was a lot of fun to that,
It is fun. I find dating fun. Like I think a lot of people find it like torturous. I find it really like exciting and fun, which I
I
don't know.
think I think if you go into the date with an open mind, right? Let's talk a little bit about who I am. Let's talk a little bit about who you are. Let's be open-minded. I mean, I'm not open-minded that if you voted for Trump, I'm walking out, but you could have had a history of being a Republican and maybe you've seen
Sure.
the light currently. We can have a really interesting conversation. I want to know about your world perspective and why you are the way you are and what you've learned and why is your family different than my family.
Right.
I think all of that's really interesting. But I also do want to get down to the fundamental moral pieces of what makes you a person and how do you see the world and how do you care about other people. Um, I also want to know about your mom and your dad because I think it's really interesting when men have watched a dad who really loves and respects their mother. I think there's something really great about that. And so I like to ask about people's families and I'm not to say that like I'm holding somebody's dysfunctional family against them, but hey, you got to know if you're getting into a dysfunctional family.
Keep it in the back of your mind. I like to know more about the relationship with their mom. Like, just how close are you? How much of a say does
Yeah.
she have in your dating life and all your decisions? And oh, she runs your life. You call her for every decision. Like, I gotta go. Like,
Well, and also do you respect your mom?
right,
You know.
right.
Yeah. I will tell you, I'm not going to name names because this is someone's personal story, but someone very close to me met someone from another country. She was living in the United States, met him in the United States, and they were dating. They moved in together. He was having issues getting a visa, and they decided that they would push up their marriage, their wedding, so that he could stay because they'd been doing this for years, back and forth, and him trying to stay and all that. And he went home for one last get all his stuff, bring it back, and his mom guilted him and kept him from coming back. And he never came back. And I have to tell you, I have had these moments with having two sons where I'm like, I need to know that I would never do that to my sons. But there is a part of me, and let me just say that this person lived all the way on the other side of the world, not somewhere you could get to in 4 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours. It's a full day travel. There is this little part of me that's like, if my son said to me, I'm moving to Hong Kong to get married and have children there, and you will rarely see me or your grandchildren, could I shut my damn mouth and let my son go do it?
No.
Because the right answer is I should let my son go do it. Well, could I? And you guys know me. I couldn't. I would fail this test.
But I don't know if they're already married and now he's gonna live in America and then he never went back. He stayed home with his mom. That's wild.
So they never officially got married. So they were about to do the wedding was what he went home to get the last of his stuff for the wedding.
Damn.
And and he never came back.
Sort of want to know more about them. This feels like a movie, though, like long lost lovers. They could rekindle.
Well, I can tell you, she's married.
I guess
She's
you're right, but it
married,
just
has a
seems like,
kid.
yeah.
They're both married to other people and have kids, and they did have coffee recently.
Ooh.
Why?
Yep. I mean, it's so many years, so much water under the bridge now. Kind of like a hi, good to see you. Glad your life is good. But it was pretty devastating. And I've always said I have to take from this one thing is when you're picking a partner, idealizing life's logistics can really hurt you, right? So they met in a bar in New York City, and the romantic part of that, like he extended his trip, he stayed to spend a week with her, he ditched all of his other things to be with her. The romantic part of that was like, this will be fine. It's going to be fine. And let's just come down to the fact that it was many years of a lot of loneliness and heartache and difficulty. And I do think, I mean, I've just been laughing because my son has been dating someone that lives in DC. And I'm like, that extra little bit of a drive is logistically difficult. He doesn't have a
Oh, wow.
license, that's hard, right? But, logistics matter, right? How do your lives fit together? Is one person going to have to give up everything for the other? Um, and that's a lot of sacrifice. I mean, seriously, he would have had to give up being near his family and his sibling and his mom seeing his children. I mean, that's
Never do.
hard.
I will barely date someone like in New York City because I'm like, ugh, do I see myself taking the train every week to see them? Probably not. Like, nope, probably not.
I will say, if you limit yourself only to Long Island, you get a very specific type of guy.
Unfortunately, I think that is my guy.
That's your guy.
Yeah.
There's a Long Island type.
Yep.
A few Long Island types, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's very region based too.
Yes.
A lot of
Yes.
Italian, a lot of Irish, a lot of mama's boys. Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff here.
It is. It is entertaining. My cousins are all Long Island boys, so
Right.
having watched it, it's a very specific type. But I do think I mean, let's just be honest. I do think that making that list of some of the must-haves and what is realistically going to work for you is really important. I don't know that when I met Oj at 24 that I knew that I really wanted to date someone older.
Mm-hmm.
I had typically dated older, and I think that fit my personality. And now that we're married, it's been much better that we're 10 years apart in age because he, at the age if we'd been matched, in age, we would not have been matches at that point in his life. Right. So
Right.
I think that's an important thing to think about. Like, do you need a man that's had that extra maturing time? Do you need a
Always.
man who's had, yeah, it worked really well for me. So that was one thing. Two, someone who wanted to live on the East Coast. I didn't really want to move far away from my family. So that was really important. Three, I wanted somebody that wanted kids. And I have to tell you, I made a little bit of a misstep because Oj and we got into this situation. Well, first of all, I wanted someone with a normal name, and I ended up with a guy with the name Joe Wilson. Couldn't be more normal, but going by a nickname Oj. I'm like, so I've had to live my entire life explaining my husband's name, which is a challenge and kind of exhausting at times when you introduce someone. But anyway, we went from dating to a logistic situation that we didn't plan for. I got a job in New York City. His time in New York City working on a trial was ending, and they were sending him back to DC. He was old enough at that point where he thought, let's stop doing the long distance thing. I think we should be in the same city. And I was like, well, I'm going to New York. And he was like, no, I really don't want to stay in New York because I'll have to sit for the New York City bar. And I was 23, 24. I was like, tough shit, sit for the bar. I don't care. Oh, God, what a bitch I was. Anyway, I had no idea what I was asking of him. But he did that for me, only a couple months into dating, which is pretty insane. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And so we moved into this really nice apartment in New York City, which, by the way, I would have been sharing a bedroom with 4 girls if I had gone on my own. And I ended up in a doorman building with TVs in the elevator. I always love telling people.
Nice.
Yeah. I was like, this is a great situation for me. The night we moved in, we went for a walk after putting away all the boxes and everything. And I said something about kids, and he's like, well, I don't know if I want kids. And I was like, OMG, I just unpacked and I'm going to have to pack and move out tomorrow.
My God.
Because I knew that was a non-negotiable. I was not going to go down the road of living with someone and not having kids someday. I wanted kids. And by the end of this 2-hour walk, I got him to the point of, I'll consider having kids. And I was like, as long as I have him on that side of it, I'll eventually wear him down.
Yeah.
I'll win on this one.
Nice. You won.
But damn it, why did I have that conversation 2 weeks earlier? But we might not have ended up together. So.
And some girls now, I hear from guys who go on dates, whatever, some girls, especially my age, I'm just turned 30 this year, and some girls will walk into a date and be like, I want to get married very soon and have kids immediately. So I feel like some people either say it right away like that and scare the guy off, or some people don't bring it up because they don't want to
scare them away.
Yeah, but it's like will usually phrase it like because sometimes guys will bring that story up, and I'm like, yeah, I get like they shouldn't like phrase it in that way, but like it is important to know on a date. Like I said, I don't like to waste my time. Like if someone never sees themselves having kids, this should probably be talked about in some fashion. Like it is what it is, you know?
Well, and let's just be honest, as women, unfortunately, we have a timeline that men don't have, right? So these 80-year-old men are having children. We can't do that, right? And that magic line of 35, whether we like it or not, it gets harder to get pregnant. So if you want to have children yourself and maybe not deal with complications and issues and worry about getting pregnant, unfortunately, we have a deadline. And any man that doesn't get that is just an asshole because biologically, we can't change that. Unfortunately, that's what puts the stereotype and the pressure on us to get a man to agree and to have children. It also puts a lot of pressure on us to decide whether we want to have children, maybe before we're
Right.
mentally ready to decide.
Right.
Um, I always felt that pressure. And I also had friends having kids in their late 20s and early 30s. And so I had my first child at 30, which was the first of all my college friends. So my college friends were busy getting their master's degrees and their MBAs and all their stuff and having these amazing careers. And I was like, oh shit, I need to have a baby. I'm so scared that I won't be able to. Which is why now I'm getting my master's at 48 because I didn't do it earlier. Um, but
Do anything.
yeah, but I will say it's an unfortunate pressure on us to create a timeline. And I think it's a very easy, frank conversation in many ways to have with a man. Like, hey, dude, you can feel like that's too much for me to bring up, but I'd like to have children and I do have a timeline because I am forced biologically.
Right. Weirdly, I don't feel pressure for that yet. I probably should because I'm 30, but I don't know. I just feel like everything will work out. Like, I'm just very concerned now about, like, I'd rather be alone forever than have kids with the wrong person because that freaks me out now, like, more than anything. So I'm just very particular now about who I spend my time with and who I would eventually have a child with. Like that's even bigger than marriage. Like a child will cement you to someone forever. So I'm just very
Yeah.
maybe I'm paranoid now. I don't know, but so I don't feel a ton of pressure because I just want to make sure I find the right match like going forward.
Well, and all three of us come from non-divorced parents,
Mhm.
right? So we have a model of an intact family unit. And I do find that to me, divorce has just not been an option. I mean, obviously, if I were in an abusive relationship or, any number of things, but I see my parents 50 something years later, I've watched them. They've gone through some real highs and some real lows, as have I now in 21 years. And the day that for me, I was like, I will weather it through was when I had my first child. I felt like my marriage had a bond to it that was necessary for me to work through the hard parts for the child.
Right.
Not, for me too, but for the child. And not to say those that get divorced didn't try or didn't want that too, but it just became a line in the sand for me that I really would have to work really hard to make sure that I could keep this intact. So I think doing the work ahead of time to make sure this is a person you're going to be okay to be with
Mhm.
in the long run on the days when you are looking at each other and ready to punch each other in the face. Because I'm sorry, the day will come.
Right.
Life gets really hard at times. There are days where you just fundamentally disagree or you see things differently or you want different things because you are not the same person you were at 25. And you will look at that partner and you will think, how the fuck am I going to get through the rest of life with this person? And you have to work really hard. That is a lot of work to get through that feeling, to pace through that feeling. And I will say, looking at my children is my number one reason why, because I really want them to have the stability of two parents together, working as a team. We've been through some really hard things with our kids. And I will tell you, that is when I'm reminded why my partner is the partner that I chose.
Right.
I don't always agree with him. We don't always agree on how to parent, and we don't always agree on emotionally how to handle things, but I don't want to do it by myself. I really don't.
Right.
And I don't want to do it with him through a lawyer or
Yeah.
a mediator or any of those things. So I think it's really important what you're saying is to make sure the partner that you choose to have children with is someone that even if there's a day you want to kill them, you could say, I'd be willing to work through it
Right.
to do it with them. Because it's not all rainbows and sunshine. And I think that's okay to know, it's not always easy.
Right.
So Coty, I think you're absolutely right. Pace yourself. And I don't know what's on, I mean, do you have things on your list for like kind of your non-negotiables, the things you're looking for?
Yes. I obviously want someone who's like open to getting married and having kids. Um, Loyalty is my number one thing. I just feel like
You'd learned.
I had that in the past, and I want someone who is all about me and prioritizes their time with me and wants to spend time with me, looks forward to coming home to me, stuff like that. I need someone to make me laugh because without that, like, what the hell are we doing? Like, I want to joke around. Someone who does like to go out. I don't want to stay home every night. I like to stay in. Like, it's Friday night. Like, let's go out. Because some people like don't do that, I'm finding. And it's,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So those are certain things which feel silly, the last couple, but they're important to me. And someone who gets along with my family because I can't do that stress ever again of like, oh, he's coming to this. Oh, this person doesn't want to come anymore. Like, I can't do that. So everyone needs to like each other because that's stressful. But just, I feel like those are the basics of what people would probably want. The
I
bar
think
can
that's so
help.
huge.
Yeah. But it's hard to find. So
And I will say the the laughter part is so big.
mm-hmm.
And, I have a husband that makes the silly jokes, the fart jokes, the complicated cerebral jokes that I used to have to like go look up. And I have to say, the funny part is that our humor styles were so different, but they've come together, right?
Mm-hmm.
20 years of the same jokes and 20 years of it's so funny how I can anticipate his jokes. I'm already laughing thinking about them. How when I'm really, really down, he can pull me out with humor. Um,
That's how my
there
parents
are
are.
times, yeah. There are times like when he was joking with the nurse over me while I was in labor that I wanted to kill him. But looking back, it does make me laugh, right? So I would say the humor and the matched sense that like I will laugh at a penis joke and a fart joke. And there are a lot of people who won't, and he would not be a good match for them, you know.
Right.
So I do think that's really important. But yeah, someone who is excited to see you
Mm-hmm.
and you're excited to see them.
Right. That's normal, nice feelings people should have towards each other. I want that. And I don't
Yes.
know, I feel like there's becoming like a weird gray area in dating. I'm sure your sons have talked about it, like the situationships.
Yeah.
Get yourselves into these weird things where it's like you're talking or you're hanging out because you've gone on dates, but then it's like, are you dating other people? Like, am I dating other people still? Like, it becomes this very like weird thing. Maybe it's bigger with younger people than people my age, but I feel like everyone's fallen victim to it. It's like you really like someone and then they're kind of breadcrumbing you, or you don't know if it's like, are they pursuing me anymore? Or are we just like, now we're Snapchatting? Like, it's so weird now that it doesn't feel like dating is traditional anymore. And that's where I'm like, what's going on? Like, what is this?
I mean, I think that's a thing to look for and make it actually one of your desires is like, I'm not interested in being strung along, and I'm not interested in our relationship mostly being online and hoping I see you in person once in a while when you bother to make plans.
Right. When I was younger, I would like hold on to the hope, oh, he's gonna Snapchat me, oh, he's gonna ask me to hang out. Nowadays, it's like I went on a date with someone and they didn't like text me really after, but they were like liking my Instagrams and stuff. And I was like, done, done.
No.
You're so strange. Like, goodbye. There's just no sense of like, I guess, would people call you after a date when you'd go on dates?
Yeah. Oh
Call you
my
next
gosh.
day? Would it be like the next?
Listen to Well, Oj and I went on our first date and you guys probably don't even know what this is, but I accidentally took his BlackBerry home and he accidentally took my BlackBerry home. Do you guys know what those are?
Blackberries are.
You don't know what our BlackBerries were. They were the size of pagers. They were this big. They were so little. And that was what we had. So we had to meet up the next day to exchange our BlackBerries.
Cute.
I was like, what a bunch of dorks were we? And I think my sister went with me to do the exchange because she wanted to get eyes on him. And she was like, he's so different than anyone you've ever dated. I like this one. And that was a big piece. I think getting the endorsement from someone you respect and care about is a huge thing. Have you ever, Coty, had like your parents try to set you up with like friends of theirs, kids or anything like that?
No, they're really not like that. They're very hands off. And I mean, we have a lot of family friends, but no one I probably would ever be interested in. So it hasn't really been like a thing. I have like friends that'll try to like set me up, or like my hairdresser is trying to set me up with like her husband's friend, stuff like that. But I
Yeah.
really like that. They're pretty like hands off when it comes to that.
Does your dad have any hot firefighter connections from back in the day? Because that would be like New York City firefighter. Yeah.
That has been my type for so long. I've dated so many of them.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm open to them, but my dad also retired when I was like 5. So
Yeah, but maybe he just needs to go to a reunion and like go scope out, like the old guys go back.
and me.
I think that would be the way to do it.
I'm open to any man of any.
All right, Coty, I think that I'm going to be looking out, figuring this out. Here's the funny part. My cousin who lives on Long Island is divorced, but I think he has a girlfriend.
Oh, well, that doesn't help me.
So, I know. I'll have to go scope that situation.
Ask him about his friends.
I'll have to go, but they're North Forkers, so there's a whole personality to that.
I'm open.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll go scope that out. But I think the biggest thing that we could take away from this is, I think really what we're getting down to is the fundamentals are the same now as they were 25 years ago.
True.
I think the endorsement of a friend saying this is a nice person and not a skeevy asshole is huge. Logistics, are we actually compatible? Can we make this work? And I think getting yourself into the point where you almost become so jaded by the endless swiping that is maybe just so surface and not really getting into talking to someone maybe is a disservice. So, Coty, we're going to ask you to splinter off at the bar next time.
I'm a splinterer. My friends say, like, if they see cute guys, like, go talk to them, like, go get them. Because I'm
good.
The bold one.
You're the one not afraid.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, you keep splintering off because you know what? Eventually one of them is going to pique your interest in a good way, I think.
You only need one. You only need one.
You only need one. Really only one. Only one. And Courtney, I don't know, what anniversary are you coming up on? Wedding anniversary? 3?
3.
3.
In September.
Oh, to go back to that 3rd year. It was a night. Courtney, you're living my life. I had a kid my 3rd year. I was pregnant on Cape Cod.
That's funny.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's a good little life. Not bad.
I'm not complaining.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. It was good to talk down memory lane. Hopefully I'll never have to date again. Fingers crossed. It'll be in the old folks' home when I'm 80.
Oh, sounds fun.
Remember the podcast we're starting then, Coty?
Okay. Can't wait.
Yeah. All about my dating life in the 80s.
Sounds fun.
All right. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the beach.